Hey, check it out. So this is Space Garage Survival Mode. Last video we talked about sort of top-down approach to problem solving. This is going to be a subset series with a more bottom-up approach. So what I have is a 3D printer, a tablet for drawing, and a laptop. In terms of hardware, I'm going to limit myself to standard off-the-shelf components and consumables. In software, I am going to try to use as much free and open source software as I can. Because of that, there's going to probably be a lot of punching trees to start with, but as things start building on top of each other, we should be able to get to some pretty cool stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is print out some hand tools so I can work on some hardware projects. The first off-the-shelf components we have here are a standard X-ACTO blade, utility blade, and some screwdriver bits. Okay, so now that we have our parts, we can start putting stuff together. It's probably a good time to start talking about where I'm headed with this. On the hardware side, I want to make a modular system that we can use. It expands to software too. Like we'll have some pattern libraries and things like that. But I've always really been into modular systems. I have a bunch of camera equipment that's modular like this. It's really good because I can get really nice close-up shots. It doesn't always work perfectly, but if you're creative enough about the pieces that you use, you can get it to work really nicely. So I'm going to weight this down. Planning and ingenuity are really important when it comes to modular systems. And it just takes a little bit of patience, but it's definitely worth it. And there's really no better feeling than that aha moment you have when you figure out. You're kidding. Okay, now that we have our parts, we can start putting them together, but I want to talk really quickly about where we're headed. Modular components are a really core part to any good scalable system. So I want to build a bunch of modular components for our system. I even use modular components already, and they always work really well. So let's get to assembling. I downloaded these files online. I'll link them in the description. I'll probably design my own at some point, but I thought it was a good opportunity to showcase some of the work that's been done by the open source community and talk a little bit about open source. The metaphor standing on the shoulders of giants is really applicable here. A lot of people have spent thousands of hours building stuff and have put it online so that we can use it. That doesn't necessarily mean you can do whatever you want with these files. You can't print stuff out and sell it or do anything like that, but at least we can use the tools ourselves. That applies pretty much to everything we're working on. Even the 3D printer I have is only as cheap as it is because thousands of people have made little improvements over the past decade. And a lot of the software is the same way. I picked these because I thought they were the best that I could find in each of their categories. They're pretty minimal and they function really well. Easy. Okay, well, that was a journey, but hopefully it gives you a sense for some of the things you can do even before getting into 3D modeling or programming. There's a lot of stuff already out there from the open source community that you can draw from. Even this was not very straightforward. I had to actually build a number of prototypes before I could get them to work properly. But there's already a lot of tutorials on how to tune a 3D printer and get your slicer settings right. I want to kind of focus on the application of those techniques. If you want to see tutorials, let me know, but otherwise I'm going to just skip over that stuff. So I'll keep doing essays on theory and product management, design thinking processes, things like that. And then here, I'm going to limit myself to a set of pretty approachable tools that we can use to build projects. Bye.